Oh, thank you. Mrs. Higgins, may I introduce Miss Eliza Doolittle?
My dear Miss Doolittle.
How kind of you to let me come.
Delighted, my dear. Mrs. Eynsford Hill, Miss Doolittle.
How do you do?
How do you do? Lord and Lady Boxington, Miss Doolittle.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do?
And Freddie Eynsford Hill.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Miss Doolittle.
Good afternoon, Professor Higgins.
The first race was very exciting, Miss Doolittle. I'm so sorry you missed it.
Will it rain, do you think?
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain, but in Hertford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
How awfully funny.
What was wrong with that young man? I bet I got it right.
Smashing.
I do hope we don't have any unseasonably cold spells. It brings on so much influenza, and our whole family is susceptible to it.
My aunt died of influenza, so they said. But it is my belief they done the old woman in.
Done her in?
Yes, Lord love you. Why should she die of influenza when she come through diphtheria right enough the year before? Fairly blue with it she was. They all thought she was dead. But my father, he kept ladling gin down her throat. Then she came to so sudden that she bit the bowl off the spoon.
Dear me.
Now, what call would a woman with that strength in her have to die of influenza? And what become of her new straw hat that should have come to me? Somebody pinched it. And what I say is, them as pinched it, done her in.
Done her in, did you say?
Yes, that's the new small talk. To do a person in means to kill them.
You surely don't believe your aunt was killed?
Do I not? Them she lived with would have killed her for a hat pin, let alone a hat.
It can't have been right for your father to pour spirits down her throat like that. It might have killed her.
Not her. Gin was mother's milk to her. Besides, he poured so much down his own throat that he knew the good of it.
Do you mean that he drunk?
Drank, my word, something chronic. Here, what are you sniggering at?
Well, this new small talk. You do it so awfully well.
If I was doing it proper, then what was you laughing at? Have I said anything I oughtn't?
Not at all, my dear.
That's the mercy anyhow.
I don't suppose there's enough time for the next race to place a bet. Come, my dear.
I'm afraid not, Colonel Pickering.
I have a bet on number 7. I should be ever so happy if you would take it. You'll enjoy the race ever so much more.
That's very kind of you.
His name is Dover.
They are again lining up to run. Now they're holding steady. They are ready for it. Look, it has begun.
Come on. Come on, Dover. Come on.